Hi guys, welcome back, or if it's your first time here, then thank you for joining us. This is the Doula's Guide to ... with me, Meg, also known as the Dungaree Doula. It's the podcast where we talk about all things pregnancy, birth and parenting. My aim is to share unbiased information alongside a bit of friendly chit-chat to ensure that you head into parenthood feeling confident and excited for what's to come. If you missed the first few episodes and you would like to know more about me, then go and check out episode 1 for a little introduction and a big chat on hypnobirthing, and the following episodes for some great birth and parenting preparation. And if you love the podcast, you can now leave me a little tip to say thank you via Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the show notes. This episode, we're going to talk about releasing fear during pregnancy. So I'll talk a little bit about why that's important. I'll take you through a fear release exercise you can do, and then end with another guided relaxation to further relax and calm our minds. So let's get into it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. So when I talk to most pregnant people, whether that be clients, friends, family, people that I end up chatting to at the street, at baby groups, most pregnant people that haven't done hypnobirthing or done any sort of birth preparation feel some sense of fear about the fact that they're pregnant and their upcoming birth. And unfortunately, this is quite normal. This is how society sort of breeds us to feel about pregnancy and birth. So societal ideas around pregnancy and birth are that it can be really traumatic, that it's a really scary time, that we have to give birth in hospitals laying on our back, that people will end up always having cesareans, having tears, and we're always talking about the bad stuff and we always hear the bad stuff. It's really sensationalist. If you think about shows like One Born Every Minute, which are meant to give us a sort of accurate view of giving birth, and I guess they do, because a lot of people do end up giving birth this way, but they're really dramatised. They are showing us real people giving birth, but they're showing us tiny snippets and they're showing us the dramatic bits because that's what makes good TV. If you think about when family and friends tell us stories about their birth, they're generally telling us the bad stuff. They're saying like, oh, congratulations on your pregnancy. I bet you're terrified to give birth. It's horrible. You want to make sure you take all of the drugs, get there as early as possible, get an epidural, blah, 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 blah. Even from our midwives, we're hearing things like, right, well, we can't let you go past 41 weeks. We can't let you give birth to a big baby. We can't let you go past 40 weeks if you have an IVF pregnancy, if you come in for episodes of reduced movements and things like that. We're constantly getting bombarded with this negativity around pregnancy and around birth. So of course we're scared of it because we never hear the alternative. And the alternative is that it doesn't have to be scary at all. And that's not to say that every single person who does birth preparation or hypnobirthing or has a doula or listens to all these podcasts is going to have the dream positive birth experience, because the other thing about birth to be aware of is that it is unpredictable and sometimes things do come up. But actually, when you can work through those fears and you can feel really empowered and in control of your birth, then you're more likely to have it go the way that you want, or to be able to deal with anything that comes up in a way that still feels really positive and empowering. I've had doula clients that have planned for home water births, that have started off at home, that have blown up their pool, that have been in the pool, that have been managing with the sensations through breathing techniques and things like that, and then had things crop up that has meant that they've ended up in hospital having an emergency cesarean, but they still feel positive about it because they felt that they were in control and that they were making decisions that were right for them and that were right for their baby in the moment, because they had all of this knowledge and because they'd released all of the fear around it. So it's really, really important. If you haven't listened to, I think it's the second episode of this podcast about positive birth mindset, then I would really encourage you now to listen to that before you listen to this one, because I don't want to repeat what I said in that episode. But building up a positive birth mindset is one of the greatest tools that we can utilise during our pregnancy. When we go into labour, just to give you a really brief overview of what I discussed in this episode, when we go into labour, our nervous system reacts to that like it does in any situation. Our nervous system is constantly reacting to every situation that we go into, and there are different ways that our nervous system can react, and the reason that it reacts in these different ways is based on what is in our subconscious. So for example, if we only have negative thoughts and fears around birth in our subconscious, in our mind, because that's all we've ever had and that's all we've ever focused on, then when we go into birth, when we go into labour, our nervous system is going to react in a way that's absolutely terrified, because all that we have stored in our brain is that birth is really scary. And when our nervous system reacts in this way, it sends us into fight or flight, which I'm sure you've heard of. When we go into fight or flight, our heart rate increases, we get flooded with adrenaline, we get really panicky, we get really sweaty, we get a dry mouth, our pupils dilate, and all of these things are not conducive to a straightforward labour. For a straightforward labour, we want our body to be really calm and really relaxed so that it can just do its job. We need loads and loads of the hormone oxytocin to be able to give birth. When we're in a calm and relaxed state, we have loads of oxytocin, and this does help our uterus to contract. It's what stimulates the contractions to happen. When we're on the opposite end of that, when we're in fight or flight mode, we get flooded with adrenaline, and adrenaline is the enemy of oxytocin. It literally inhibits it from being created. So it's stopping us getting this oxytocin, which is going to stop our uterus contracting as efficiently as it could be, or even stop it completely depending on how much we've got of it. So we really want to rid ourselves of these fears around birth before we go and give birth. I hope that makes sense. Like I said, please go and listen to the positive birth mindset episode, or even if you listened to it ages ago and you can't remember, go give it a refresher, because we talk about it in more detail and we talk about how you can start building up this positive birth mindset. One of my favourite ways to release fear during pregnancy is doing a fear release exercise, because this is an ongoing process that we can do throughout our pregnancy. It's not linear, there's no end to it. You can just carry on doing it for as long as you need to. And basically what you need for this is a pen and a piece of paper, and that is it. Or if you don't like writing stuff down, if you don't journal or you just don't have notepads around or anything, you can literally just do this in the notes app of your phone. So what you would do if you were doing this on a piece of paper is you would put a line down the middle, and on one side you would write the heading fears, and on the other side of the page you would write the heading release. If you were doing this on your phone, I guess you would just have the two headings underneath each other. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down anything that you are scared of about pregnancy and about birth, even if it's like the tiniest fear, even if it's a really trivial fear, even if it feels really stupid and embarrassing. It doesn't matter. No one's going to read this. This is your inner work that you're doing. It's not for anybody else. But write down anything that you are scared of. And then on the other side of the page, under the release side of it, you're going to write down an affirmation that counteracts whatever you're worried about. If you don't know what an affirmation is, it's basically a positive statement that we can tell ourselves to rewire the way that we think about stuff, to rewire our brains. So an example of a positive affirmation is as simple as I am safe. So this is especially helpful if you are someone who suffers with panic, if you panic about certain situations, if you have a panic disorder or anything like that, and you worry about things and you end up in a fight or flight state quite a lot. Telling yourself I am safe reaffirms to your body that you are safe, and that can again change the way that our nervous system responds to different situations. A positive birth affirmation is similar, it's the same, but it's just one that relates to pregnancy or birth. So you're going to write down a positive birth affirmation that counteracts whatever you're worried about. And if you can't think of one, just Google it. So I'll give you an example. A lot of the time people are worried about having a big baby. There's a lot of chat about big babies and people get really worried about it. We get a lot of undue pressure from healthcare professionals or from other people, family members, friends and things like that about having a big baby. So if you're writing down, I'm really worried I'm going to have a big baby, I know the implications of it mean that I might be pressured into an induction and I really don't want that to happen, blah, 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 blah. Or you could just write it really simply and just put, I'm scared of having a big baby. That's fine too. Write as much or as little as you want to. Your affirmation to counteract this would be something like, my baby will be the perfect size for my body. And when you write it down, you probably think, oh, that sounds a bit like whimsical, a bit airy-fairy, especially if you're not used to using affirmations. But what we do is anytime the fear pops into our head, anytime we find our mind wandering and we start worrying about having a big baby, or we start getting chatted to about it, or we start getting pressure about it, you just tell yourself the affirmation over the top of it. You quieten the thoughts and you tell yourself, no, my baby will be the perfect size for my body. And at first, like I said, if you've never used affirmations before, it might feel quite weird. It might even feel a little bit awkward. But the more you do it, you get used to it. And eventually, you don't have to do it anymore because you've rewritten the thought. Your body and your brain now believes that your baby will be the perfect size for your body. And you're no longer scared. And you've broken down one more layer of that sort of scared fear mindset that you had around birth, because now you believe, no, my baby will be the perfect size for my body, and you feel confident that you know that and that you will be able to give birth to your baby because your baby will be the perfect size for your body. So keep doing this. And like I said, this isn't like a one-time exercise. This is something that you do throughout pregnancy. So you keep this notebook with you, or maybe you keep it in a safe place, like beside your bed or something like that, or you keep your phone with you. And anytime you feel a new fear arising, you write it down, you journal on it, and then in the release side, you find an affirmation. If you can't find an affirmation, just Google it. So say you're really worried about inductions, you would Google positive birth affirmations for inductions. There are so many positive birth affirmations out there. You can have a look through them and find ones that resonate. And just keep doing this, and you will find that your mindset slowly over time, it's not immediate, it's one that does take a little bit of work and a little bit of effort, because you have to consciously rewire these thoughts when they pop up. But eventually it will change. And you will realise at the end of it that you feel a lot lighter. And by the time your birth rolls around, you will feel a lot more happier and comfortable and confident about the fact that you're about to give birth. And all of that stuff is stored in your subconscious. So it's work that you're doing consciously in the rational part of your mind, but it all gets stored in your subconscious, and it makes you feel really safe. And it tells your nervous system that birth is a safe event, that you are not going to be in any danger from. And when you go into giving birth, you will not trigger that fight or flight response. You will trigger the ventral vagal side of our nervous system, which is that rest and digest state, that really calm, relaxed state where the oxytocin can flow and your body can do its job as it was built to do. So I really hope that that's helpful for some of you, and that you don't think that it's just a load of rubbish because it's not. Positive affirmations do have scientific backing behind them. The way that they work, they really do rewire our neural pathways, and they can be incredibly helpful for changing the way our subconscious thinks about certain situations. So it's really helpful. If you do want to learn more about the use of positive affirmations, I will leave some links in the show notes below so that you can go and do some further reading if you need a little bit of further convincing. If you want any help with any of your positive affirmations, come and find me on Instagram. I'm at the Dungaree Doula. I post them quite a lot. I talk about them on my stories, or you can always just DM me and go, look, I'm struggling. I really want to do this exercise, but I cannot think of an affirmation to counteract this. Can you help me out? And I will come and help you out. That's absolutely fine. So I hope this all made sense and you enjoyed it. I'm going to do a guided relaxation now that is, again, just about releasing that fear. You can do this while you're listening, sort of on your way to work or stuff like that, but not if you're driving. You should never do a guided relaxation if you are driving or if you're somewhere where you really need to pay attention. You could do it, for example, if you was on a bus or a train or something like that, but you won't get the most out of it. Ideally, you want to be doing these when you're somewhere where you're really quiet, you're not going to be disturbed, where you can just lay down, close your eyes and really focus. So if you want to give it a listen now, but you're not in that situation, feel free to give it a listen, but realistically, you want to do it at a time, maybe before bed, maybe first thing in the morning, maybe when you're just having a really nice chill out time and nobody is going to come and disturb you. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you're leaving us here, I'll see you again hopefully later tonight for the guided relaxation. But if you're sticking around, then I hope you enjoyed the guided relaxation now too. So just begin to settle yourself comfortably, making any adjustments and any arrangements that support you in being able to fully relax and enjoy this time. If you feel ready and comfortable, you might want to close your eyes and just let my voice carry you through this wonderfully relaxing experience. Taking a nice deep breath now. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can carry on to breathe like this or breathe at your own pace. Take all the time that you need. Allow your breath to begin to slow down and deepen. Slow down and deepen, gently nudging you further into relaxation with each breath that you take. You may even be feeling a little more relaxed already. as you are breathing in this way, just let this calming feeling spread all over your body. Imagine or sense a soft, warm light washing down over you, relaxing and softening each body part it touches. Starting at the top of your head, gently smoothing out your forehead, the space between your eyebrows, relaxing and letting go, across your cheeks, across your jaw, softening and releasing, each body part becoming more and more relaxed. Down across your shoulders next. Just let my voice carry you as you relax and release each body part. Feel your chest relax. And then as it spreads down each arm, allow it to go all the way to your fingertips, and then washing over your tummy around your baby. A wonderfully relaxing, soft light enveloping each part of you and your baby, relaxing and releasing any tension that it finds. Next, feel it travel down your pelvis, into your hips, relaxing and releasing, softening down each leg, relaxing your knees and traveling down to your feet, just relaxing and letting go each part of your body, deeply relaxed and at ease. I don't know if you are aware of how deeply relaxed you are becoming, or if you feel heavier or lighter because of it. Maybe you can sense already how very calm and relaxed you feel. If you want to now, scan your body and see if there are any areas of tension left. If there are, just silently say the word release, release, release. Focus on the area as you say this, and the tension will leave your body, down through your feet until it is all gone. Feels good to be so deeply relaxed, your body so soft and comfortable. And now you're in this calm and relaxed state. This is the place where you can make positive and permanent changes. You're already taking steps to prepare. You're already taking steps to prepare for your wonderfully comfortable and empowering birth experience. You probably already know that this is the perfect time to select what is helpful and useful to you. And it's also the perfect time to release any unwanted negative thoughts, worries, or beliefs about birth. Sometimes we hear stories from others or have our own experiences that make us feel scared, tense, or afraid. We may have seen or read things about birth that feel dark or that feel heavy, and you probably already know those things that are weighing you down are not useful to you as you prepare for your birth. So I want you to imagine now a space inside your head where you have been keeping all of those heavy, difficult thoughts. Just let anything you might have been subconsciously carrying around for all of this time to enter that space. Sense or imagine those thoughts. Perhaps they even have a form, an appearance, a shape, a colour, or a texture. You can notice if there are lots of thoughts or just one or two big ones, cluttering up the space inside your head. You don't have to know exactly what each one of them is or even why it's there. You can just get a sense of them in whatever way feels right for you. Anything you'd like to let go of can come into this space as you prepare to release these heavy or dark feelings about birth. So when you're ready to start releasing those unwanted thoughts, you can begin to imagine. Imagine inside the space in your mind where all the negative thoughts and beliefs are. Imagine that there is a small ball of glowing light, bright white or golden perhaps. I don't know if you can sense how much it is growing, but its light is spreading until it's so bright and so big that it begins to burn through all of the negative clutter. Those shapes, those darkened colours, those worries in your mind. One by one, each worry disappears as the light spreads over it, envelops it, permeates through its very existence until they completely disappear, releasing away into nothing. You can scan this space to see if there are any tiny specks remaining, and if there are, just let the warm light soak away every last drop until all that remains is the pureness of ever-expanding light, representing the beautiful confidence that you have within you. You might wonder at the strength of this light and how it seems to glow and spread. It spreads from that space in your mind, outwards, downwards, throughout your entire body, gently sending signals to your whole body and mind on a deeply subconscious level, that you feel nothing but strength, nothing but empowerment, confidence and calmness as you welcome the experience of opening and releasing as you give birth, knowing that this is an exciting and magical event that you can look forward to. You're going to experience it in such a positive way as you meet your new baby. You know that you are feeling so much calmer and full of confidence now because you are relaxing in this way, so happily relaxed. You are safe in the knowledge that when the time comes to birth your baby, you will welcome and embrace any sensations you may feel, and that your body will open easily and effortlessly, gently allowing space for your baby to come down and be released earthside. And because you're preparing in this way, you will have the most positive and wonderful experience when you meet your baby for the first time as you become a parent. You can look ahead now to the moment when you meet your baby for the first time, when you are holding your baby in your arms. You are so happy and serene. You feel ecstatic, full of euphoria, in awe of how you and your body grew, nurtured, and birthed this beautiful new life. You are a family now, and doesn't that feel amazing? Birth was even more powerful and inspiring than you ever thought imaginable. And you, like millions of other women before you, embraced, danced with the rhythm of the sensations of labour, as if you had done it many times before, because your body knew exactly what to do, how to soften, open and release at exactly the right time for you and your baby. You realise now that you are so much stronger and more capable than you ever knew. You can really, truly acknowledge and trust in your intuition and know with confidence that you will have the most empowering and wonderful birth experience in the right way for you and your baby. In a few moments, it will be time to come back to the present moment, bringing with you this sense of newly found confidence, positivity, and empowerment, so that you can enjoy the rest of your pregnancy calmly and serenely, and you can look forward to the day that you can give birth to your baby with excitement and joy, knowing it will be the most special and empowering experience. Sit with these feelings for another few moments before I begin to count up from 1 to 5. 1. Begin to feel a little more aware of your surroundings. 2. Become aware of your body. 3. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. 4. Allow your eyes to gently flutter open. And 5. Feeling awake and alert, confident and happy, excited about the birth of your new baby. Thank you for listening.